The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
It's time!
Can you do that, though? Can you do that?
Yeah, I mean, what is Bruce Buffer going to, look up Hanging with the Boys and get us to take the show down because is that copyrighted?
I think so.
Oh, great. Another
substance off the air.
Off the air.
Start it over.
Anyway, you're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza, where it has been vacated again because I have the little red dot on my weather app, and we got 2 days of reprieve, and it's back up to 99. It feels like 102, and it's going to be 106 degrees today. But the low's down to 80. The bad news is I think it's 107 up to 108 through next week. So
It's not good.
it's stupid. It's just stupid. Mother Nature, you're stupid right now. You're just
Don't mess with Mother Nature now.
That's Shannon,
Yeah.
Bartholomew Gross, Mother Nature. Kurt, Nate, and I said nothing about that because Mother Nature will drop a tree on your house.
I know.
Or
I should not have said that.
Or something happens. She will blow a trash can through your window. Something will happen.
No. I'm sorry, Mother Nature. But give us a break, okay, please, ma'am? Thank you. Anyway, welcome to the show. Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Jesse Holley, Kurt Daniels, Shannon Gross in studio, Nate Newton coming to us live from the road. We won't have video of Nate because he needs to keep his eyes on the highway and drive, but we have him in our ears. Are you there, Nate?
I'm here, man, and I'm agreeing with Jesse. Leave Mother Nature alone.
Okay.
And Nate likes to drive with no pants on.
Oh, do you have pants on right now, Nate?
Yeah, I do. They're very short, but they're on.
And if you didn't get the reference of the show open, if you've never watched UFC, that is the opening to UFC fights. And speaking of fights, boy, do we have us a couple.
Oh, now you're getting back in the swing of things. Okay.
And I have been waiting all day.
Okay.
Because I have hot sports opinions on this.
Okay.
I freaking love it. I love it, and I'm going to tell you why.
What an awesome segue. That was
That's good?
That was good, man.
Right, okay.
Golly, I've been waiting for you to get back in the swing of things.
There you go.
That was
There
good.
you go. All right. I love it, and the reason I love it on a lot of different levels. And you may not agree with me. I do not condone violence, although I do love combat sports. But I love this because we talked about this on this show 3 years ago when I don't remember the quarterback. It was a backup quarterback. Damn near had his head taken off in a game. Slid. Y'all remember the quarterback?
Yeah, he's not here anymore. He was a veteran.
Yeah.
From TCU.
Redhead.
Oh, yeah.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Got his head nearly taken off, and no Cowboy player even walked over to help him up off the field. And that just, I don't know why, but that just got under my skin, and that bothered me that no one on that, and this is back when Lyle was here. This is back when you had some nasty dudes on the offensive line, and nobody helped that man up, and that just bothered me, right?
Tell you what he means. Talk about leadership, right?
Right.
Who they like and don't like.
Right. And it just bothered me. And to see what happened yesterday, I don't know who was right, who was wrong. I watched the video, and if you haven't seen it, go look. It's all over Twitter. Sam Williams had been going, what's the backup guy's name that he was going
Oh, it was
against?
Brock Hoffman, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Brock Hoffman.
Yeah,
Brock Hoffman.
they had supposedly had some battles during the day or during camp, and at the end of the play, they kind of you could do a little bit of these, a little push, and Jesse, you know how that is. Nate, you know how that is. It's the last day of camp. You've had enough, and it's like, all right, this MFer has been messing. Okay, and you give a little extra. Yep. And Sam Williams turned around to go face mask to face mask, and before he could take 2 steps, Tyler Biotish hit him.
No.
Both hands.
Sam didn't go face mask to face mask.
He tried.
Sam was going with the clenched fist to punch.
Club? Was he going with the
to
club?
punch Hoffman in the back of the head.
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
And Biotish decleated him, And here comes Tank, and here comes the defense, and here comes the offense, and then everybody gets settled down, and then Micah gets into it later.
Later, yeah.
So, and then I love what J. Ron Kerr said after.
Yes.
We'll get into that in a second, but let's just go around. Nate, since you're not on camera, what are your thoughts about it? You like it? You don't like it?
I'm good with it. As long as you realize you can't break a helmet. You know, if you jabbing people in the chest and shoving them and, you know, man, a little forearm here, as long as it ain't in the face, you know, in the back of the head, I'm down with it, man. You know, the offense should have did this a week ago because the defense just been pummeling them for the last few weeks. I mean, I guess they got tired of like, you know what, I'm tired of this. Y'all been disrupting practice for the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna start getting in somebody's grill, and I like it, man. As long as you don't break a hand.
Jesse.
I'm all for it. I mean,
Let's go. I like this. Kurt, don't ruin this.
Unlike you, Shannon, I appreciate a little bit of violence. I think violence is necessary in some situations. I don't live by the Martin Luther King mantra, well, violence is not the answer. I'm more of a Malcolm X kind of guy. You know, by any means necessary at times. I mean, you're talking about playing one of the most, if not the physical sport in all of professional sports. And when you get these guys, you have alpha males, right? This football is made up of a bunch of alpha males. Now, you have the alphas, you have the alphas, and then you have the alfs, right, of the crew. But in essence, everyone's still an alpha male. And you put them together, and I make jokes of this, and I've said this before to you guys. There may have been a little bit of a relief when they came in town last week, but when you've been locked up in those dorms, and you ain't seen your lady.
Here we go.
You ain't seen your lady.
Always comes back around into the trailer park, doesn't it?
You ain't had a chance to slide through the trailer parks to just relieve a little bit of that stress. And all you got to do is look at this man every single day, over and over and over and over again. That is going to happen 9.9999% of the time. I'm for it. It's going to happen. I know the big boys, they get tired sometimes. You got to do all that huffing and puffing and pulling on those 300-pound dudes. But, yeah, it's a part of the sport. It's no different than a hockey fight. You get it on, you deal with it. And most of those guys, it don't go back into the locker room. It's done.
It's like if you have a sibling, every once in a while you got to punch your brother in the mouth, and guess what? It's still your brother. And you go wind up, you might be a couple of hours, it might be a couple of days, but you go hug it out eventually, and you're still brothers.
Yeah. And they'll get their look back at some point in time, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kurt, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing.
Yes, let's go. All right. I was worried about you, Kurt.
You could see this kind of building. It was funny watching Nick and Kyle on the training camp.
It happened while they were all
Yeah, and so you could. I mean, the coaches were kind of ramping it up themselves. I mean, because Williams and Hoffman faced off once, and Hoffman beat him on that rep, and you could see Williams was like, "I'm going." He was digging in, and he slipped on the next snap, and so coaches put him back in there again, Yeah. You could see it was just ramping up. And even in the broadcast, I give Nick credit. He goes, if ever there was going to be a fight, this is when it's going to happen. And sure enough, Williams got him that last time, and there they went. But, like you guys said, now you don't want Micah Parsons throwing punches at Biadasch's helmet.
Right.
I mean, that's not going to end well. But other than that, to have that little bit of feistiness and, it's – I think the coaches were probably pleased to see some of that fight.
And Nick, by the way, I think Nick's clairvoyant. You don't know how many times I've been on the sideline with Nick, and he's called the play. He's called stuff like, watch this. This is, he's going to break one right here. He's going to score for a touchdown, and they're 30 yards out of the end zone. And
but Nick's been around for.
Yeah,
he has been, but still, the stuff that he talks about. By the way, he's got his own show now, so go check it out. Really good. He had a great interview with Zach yesterday. Go check that out. But yeah, man, I just freaking love it. And tell me if I'm wrong, but
you're wrong.
Okay. You're wrong.
Well, let me at least get my point out, then you can tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
This is for Jesse and Nate. When that happens, and especially somebody that you may not have known had that, like Tyler Biadasz, this camp he's been chippy, everybody said, right? Mm-hmm. It might be because Zach's been gone, and Zach reached out to him and said, hey, you're gonna have to step up, right? But if you see a little bit of something and you're on the defense and you see an offensive guy do that, you're kind of like, okay, that's my guy. I like that.
No.
Or does it piss you off and
You do what Micah Parsons did for the next 2 periods. You say, oh, this is what you want? Okay, cool.
But I mean, when you get back in the locker room, does it raise your
Yeah.
level of respect a little bit for him and go, okay, he's taking up for his guy, or does it just make you mad?
Curse had a comment afterwards, something to the effect of, it was good to see a little fight out of, be honest. You know, they're trying to.
I'm
ramp it
telling
up
you,
some.
man. We need for Be Honest to go to another level if we're gonna do something special as an offensive line. And it's called finishing. What those little chippy moments do for offensive linemen is now you're trying to finish every block. And just like anything else, if you build good habits, it'll carry over into the game. So now they're expecting his level of when they go into them pass rush to be better. They expect when he go into the game for things to be better. If it's not steel sharpening steel, man, and that's what it seems like it hadn't been, going into that last preseason game. These guys have had great practices, but it didn't transfer to the game. But now that you've had this right here, you've raised your level against a pretty good defense in practice. Maybe you can raise that level once again, even though these starters may not play in this game. Just continue to raise your level. That's for the starters all the way to the backup. Raise your level of play. Raise your level of intensity, because all it does at the end of the year is ensure you a better chance of winning.
J-Ron Curse. Here's J-Ron Curse's quote. This is from Patrick Walker, No C Walker article on DallasCowboys.com. Quote, "We ain't taking no poo-poo from nobody. All 32 teams, we ain't taking poo-poo from nobody. Whether it's our offense or the next offense, we're trying to show we're the best in the business, so it gets spicy out here. It's going to get spicy on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. Whenever we line up, that's how we're going to come." I freaking love that. Straight jacket. Tell them what's up, man. Let's go.
You know what? Did I tell you guys what happened they was doing Red Zone 7-on-7 2 days ago? I didn't tell y'all what happened during that period, did I?
You didn't.
We're waiting.
What happened was...
What happened was...
no, seriously, Harris, the defensive back coach, Al Harris, we was back, so we couldn't hear what he was saying, but he stopped. He stopped the drill, and he was just talking. He was just going on for like 30 seconds to a minute, just going on. And then they started back the drill, and then he stopped again and said, "Hey, ref, you got to do something. Let us know whether it's a touchdown, whether the ball. You got to let us know what's going on." And so he was upset the whole period, just talking noise. And so at dinner that night, I said, "Al, bro, what happened to get you in that frame of mind? I have never seen you be that demonstrative." He said, "Nate," he said, "what happened was we went 4 or 5 reps, and the offense had they didn't know what was going on. They couldn't catch a ball. They couldn't complete none. They weren't running good routes. So I stopped the drill and asked him, 'Hey, man, do we need to go do something else? Or are y'all going to compete?'" And, man, it started a landstorm to the point where y'all saw that Jalen Tolbert catch at the end of practice the other day, right?
Yeah, the Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that started much earlier, whereas the receivers was kind of half doing their thing. But after Coach went into them and Gilmore started talking noise and Trayvon started talking noise, it just went off, and practice just went to another level. So I understand totally about competition, trying to be the best you can be, because our defense yesterday, they was doing the where they scored for the offense, for the defense, the first one to 18. We had like 8 plays inside the 5-yard line. The defense did not let them in. Now Zach Martin and Smith and Tyron wasn't there, but they couldn't get it in, bro. They could not, score. So I'm like, the defense is meaning everything they said. Since the second day of padded practice, our defense has been setting the tempo of practice.
Man, I tell you what, the way the offense looks, the talent they have, and the way the defense is playing, the talent they have, and if you put some attitude in there and you got some dogs on both sides of the ball, oh my goodness, how fun is this going to be? I can't wait. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, I mean, it wouldn't be a Dallas Cowboys show if we didn't talk about Deuce, right? Like,
Lord, Jesus,
so we're going to talk about Deuce, and we'll talk about we want to ask.
Some of the Deuce of Club or the Deuce of Heart?
The deuce is loose. The deuce is loose. Take that however you want. And then we're going to ask Jesse, how poo-poo is this offensive line? When we come back on Hanging with the
You gonna
Boys.
stop with that foolishness, man. Y'all gonna stop with that.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
The kid done had a nice.
Welcome back to the show. Wingstop presents you this show every day where flavor gets its wings. And the second segment, every show, is brought to you by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com, for letting us have a second segment. All right, fellas. That might be the first time we've ever all agreed on something.
Think so?
Yeah, violence.
Yeah, we all agree on violence. Great.
Agree on violence.
What's that say about us?
I don't know. All right.
Testosterone.
All right. We should just go ahead and title this segment Jesse and Nate Duke It Out. Or the S Show, which that's the whole show, not just the segment.
What'd you yell at the beginning there? It's time?
It's time!
Do you know that he manages his brother?
I got this text yesterday.
He's his brother's
this morning.
manager.
Really?
I got this text this morning about the old line from Jesse. Jesse better not have nothing to say about my old line. I promise you, nothing bad at least.
Did you know that he didn't know that was his brother until he was grown?
I did not know that.
It's a great story. I heard it on Rogan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it off there. It's
Okay.
a very interesting story. They didn't even know that they were related.
We're talking about Bruce
and Michael Buffer. Yep. Let's get ready to rumble.
It's time.
Yeah, two of the most iconic voices ever. It just happened to be in combat sports and were brothers and didn't even know it until they were both well into their careers. It's an awesome story. All right, you guys ready to duke it out?
Yeah.
Jesse thinks the offensive line's poo-poo. Nate thinks we're good. Go.
No.
What text did you send, Nate?
I sent the group this text.
Oh, the group text.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The group
Jesse,
text.
give us that sloppy opinion of yours. Repeat it again.
And my opinion will absolutely hold no weight when you're going up against a dude who actually played the position, was a 6-time Pro Bowler, and a 3-time Super Bowl champion. So
But you know what? Everyone is entitled to an opinion.
No matter how much it stinks.
Exactly.
So let's duke it
or
out.
if it's wrong or right.
Yeah, I'm always
Let's
right.
go, Jess. Let's
So
go.
no, but here's my biggest thing, Nate. And when you look at this team, and you mentioned it a moment ago, just how much talent this team has across the board. You look at the defensive line, you're saying, man, between Mozzie and Jonathan Hankins. We got somebody finally in the middle. We know what Dank is going to be, the consistent player he's going to be. You got Micah, who's being an absolute beast, right? You got Leighton Vander. You got all these guys in all these places, the three-headed monster of the safeties when they get Dino back. Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, all these guys, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. You got all these pieces in there. And then you start looking at it, you say, okay, what outside of injury could derail this football team? And the one place that's a glaring, to me, frightening point is this offensive line.
Frightening.
I'm glad that we got Zach Martin back, right? But when you watch film, we're truly, honestly, one injury away from this thing really collapsing. And that, to me, is I look at this offensive line and I'm getting, even though they're trying to get Tyron to the games, right? He's not practicing every practice. He's not in every period. They're trying to get him to Sunday. And I get it. I understand it.
Don't you think 31 other teams, though, are saying that about their offensive line? We're one injury away from disaster.
But our disaster always seemed to be like
happens.
Like it always happens, and it always happens. It's always at the wrong time, and it always seems like it's a mountain of a letdown, right? And the one thing that we know, especially going into this new offense, the West Coast offense, Texas Coast offense, whatever, everything about this offense is timing. It's timing, it's timing, it's timing. So there needs to be a good enough offensive line when you give Dak Prescott the opportunity to get the football off to the places it needs to get to. And, it's these little pockets of holes. We don't know what Terrence Steele is going to be. I get that he's not a receiver or running back or skill position guy, but he's coming off an ACL injury. That matters. That absolutely matters. And they usually always say it takes what for an ACL injury? A year to get back from an ACL injury. We don't know what Tyron's going to be or how long we're going to have Tyron. The one good thing is we haven't heard a lot about Tyler Smith in camp, so that means it's a good thing, right? But Zach Martin is back, and then in the middle would be Oddish. And I know that he went to the Pro Bowl last year, but he had his up and down moments. This to me, and maybe poo-poo was a little bit of an exaggeration. But it's a concerning matter to me. It's a really concerning matter to me. Now, Super Bowl champion, tell me why it's not a concerning problem to you, because we good everywhere else, according to you.
I'm glad all you guys was there when we did all the show together the first time. I said, besides our offensive line, I am good. Because I feel that we are a player and a half away.
He said, beside the kicker,
ensuring that we stay good with depth. If we can get that young guy, Awesome Richards, or we can get TJ Bass at the guard, we have to have two more players. Because if something happens to Tyron, I think Steele could struggle too as a young guy. But if something happened to Tyron, we got to make too many changes to get things going. So I'm with you with that, and I've been. That's why I wanted the offensive lineman in the earlier parts of the draft, maybe the second or third round, because we need somebody to come in that can physically play. Edaga, I don't know what he can do. He's got a bone bruise from a hyperextension. So these guys have to play. And I think they got to go out. They got to go and let the guys that they really think that's going to line up. If something happened to Tyron, the guys that's going to line up, they got to play this preseason. And they got to play 2 and 3 quarters. And if you figure they can't play, you're going to have to go out and get someone. We're going to have that can play more than 40 snaps. The kid we had last year, he's a Hall of Famer. I love him to death. But we need somebody that can play more than 40 snaps. And I'm with you, Jess. But our offensive line is great right now. But like you said, we're an injury away from not looking very good.
Do they need to use some of the depth in other areas to trade for some depth at linemen?
I don't know. Because offensive linemen are expensive these days. They can cost you some draft capital along with some money.
I think they're going to probably wait till cuts are made and then go pick some guys up.
Ain't nobody going to – even the guys that get
cut. But if they're cut from other teams.
Yeah, but they're famous for
good offensive lineman or a good offensive lineman get released, say the last cut, and you want to get a shot at him, you can't go shooting pennies at him. You can't go saying, hey, we the Cowboys, come with us. You got to shoot some jack out there. And you know, we ain't good at, you know, saying, hey, let's make sure we get this guy. We like to say, we the Cowboys, hey, look at it this way. No, you got to go if a good lineman, a decent lineman hit them waiver lines and clear the waiver, you got to go at them. You got to go get them.
Are they all in this year?
That was going to be my question. I think, looking at what other teams do around the league, when you're this good on paper, I don't think you do it at the beginning of the season, but middle of the season, do you if you're kicking butt, do you push all in and go, okay, we're spending all this extra money, we don't care what it looks like 2-3 years from now, let's go get some depth, let's go get some people, and I mean, we're not even through preseason yet. I'm already talking about making a Super Bowl run, but I mean.
And can I preface my statement by also saying I look at our offensive line, and the reason I come to this conclusion, whether it be an early conclusion or not, is I'm foreshadowing what we have to go through in the season. In our own division alone, in the NFC East, you're talking about three other teams in our division who are top 5 defensive lines in the National Football League.
Yep.
Right? Like that's what you're going to face. And you see the clips come out of different training camps. You see the Payne kid taking 300-pound dudes and just leveling them. You know what Dexter Lawrence is going to be. You know what, guys like that is going to be. You know what it's going to be in Philadelphia. And I just think about, we can have the song and dance about the regular season, but we'll play San Francisco earlier in the year. And the last couple years, we've had to see them in order to make the next step in the playoffs. And what has happened? They've been more physical than us up front, offensively and defensively. And so that's what my thinking is that I'm saying, does this offensive line look like an offensive line currently built today that I feel like can win a dominating matchup against Philadelphia, can win a match against New York, can win a match against Washington, can win a match against the Niners and some other team that will play throughout the year. The Patriots, we'll have to see those guys, and they have a pretty good, line up front. So there are some teams that I'm looking at, and that's why I kind of base my, the regular season is fine, but when this thing really has to happen, will we be able to withstand the devastating blows within our own conference?
Yeah. That's along those lines. Back in June, Pro Football Focus did their rankings for the top defensive lines coming up in 2023. Philly was number 1, 49ers, who they'll face, number 2, Commanders, number 3.
Yep.
Dolphins, who they'll face.
We'll face the Dolphins.
Number 4. Pittsburgh's 5th, 6th. You get down, Buffalo 7th.
We'll face them.
We'll face them. Then we got Cowboys at 8th, Giants at 9th.
Jesus.
Face them. And then they got the Patriots at 12.
We played them as well.
That's
what I'm saying. So I'm not basing my opinion solely on this because I want to be, that guy. But I'm looking at, what do we have ahead of us? And will we be able to compete in the trenches? Because I'm looking at the way that this offense operates or is trying to operate in the new system and what it's in the West Coast offense. And I know that you need the ability to have the timing to get this stuff right. It's all about being where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. At the time that you're supposed to be there. So being able to do that, you need to be able to hold up front. And other teams have gotten, as we have as well, we've gotten stout up front as well, but so have other teams. And if we're going to combat Dak with the interceptions and being able to make plays downfield, you only do that by giving them a clean pocket to throw from.
All right. Go ahead, Nate.
But let me say this right quick, fellas. The only difference is from this year than the previous years is that if we can get through this, we will be truly battle tested.
True.
If the Cowboys can win 10 or 11 games and we have our offensive line virtually intact, this will be the first time that I feel that we can go into a playoffs and have true success. And I'm with you on that, Jess. We can't have no injuries. But if we go through from the Giants to the Jets to the Cardinals to the Dolphins,
I forgot about the Jets. The Jets as well.
If we get through all of that intact, we have a great chance.
You're definitely going to have a good test along the way And if you can get through
week in and week out, brother.
in
It ain't
pretty
no
good
week.
shape.
You got 6 games within the division.
But you're going to get the hell beat
top
out of
5.
it. You're going to get the hell beat out of it. They're going to be beat up at the end of the year.
You look at that and you
So
know.
are the other teams, bro. So are the other teams.
All right, let's take our first last break. Our first last break. Before we do, let's go to the text line. By the way, 817-290-3298. These are a couple that came in before the show or right when the show started. Casey in Denver, he had a couple of questions, but I'm going to skip to the important part because Jesse, what is wrong with me today? Man, got to get. Kurt, you put vodka in my water again?
Maybe I should have.
Jeez.
I might have got you straight.
JC, you get so much hate from the fans on this show for being a hater.
It's all good.
Casey says, Jesse, you're not a hater. You spelled your name wrong, but it's with an E, Casey. Jesse, not Y. You're not a hater. You just keep it real. And the day you drink the Kool-Aid is the day I know this team has something special.
You're
sipping it. You're sipping it. You're sipping it.
I'm stirring it.
Dr. Taft Quincy Heatley, a.k.a. Pastor Q from Alexandria, Virginia. Hey, gang, glad to be rocking with you this season. Shannon, I will be watching and praying for you this season.
He needs it.
He trying to tell me I need you?
Pastor Q, what's up, baby? You remember Pastor Q?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Appreciate you watching, man. Thanks for staying with us. The People Show, taking our last break. We'll be right back. We got to talk about the Deuce. The Deuce is loose. On Hanging with the Boys next.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back. The final segment of Hanging with the Boys for this Thursday. Jigsaw, proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys, brings you this final segment. And it just wouldn't be a Dallas Cowboys show this week if we didn't talk a little bit about Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
It seems like every training camp, there's always one pet cat that the fans just grab a hold of, and you cross your fingers and you hope that they make the team, and they're going to be the second coming of whatever, and they're going to go up the depth chart, and then they just kind of disappear, and then they're lucky to dress for a few games during the season. I guess we should give it one more game and see what this kid's got. Everybody's really high on him right now. So question for y'all, and Jesse, you're probably going to say no way. If he has another game, I know you already said you want to see him getting some plays designed for him with the first team, right? Mm-hmm. If he has another game like he had last week, does he move up the depth chart? or could he? What does he need to do to be your number 2 back? Or is it possible because you don't have that trust factor with him and he's a rookie and blitz pickup and all that stuff? I mean, is it possible he could be?
Yeah, there's so many factors that go into that to be the running back, like RB2. You know, it's see.
It's possible though, right?
No, it's not.
All right. There's the voice of reason coming out. There he is.
Because
there's the hater. He's hating on Deuce. He hates short people.
What did you say earlier? It's time. I couldn't hold back anymore. The haters look. But the thing is that you have to think about the totality of what it takes to put together a game plan for Sunday, not preseason. Because we're talking about if you move to RB2, that you're an integral part of what the game plan is going to be.
Your knowledge of the playbook goes from this to.
No,
you gotta know
Mike McCarthy, Brian Schottenheimer, when they're putting the game plan together for Sunday and you're RB2, you're in the conversation. Like, you're in the conversation. And so, giving a responsibility or giving that role to somebody means that you have to carve out, it ain't just 5 or 10 reps. Right? We're talking about 15, 20 reps that they have to find ways to get you in there, how they can get you the ball, what situation they're going to put you in, all those type of things. Because it sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, someone who holds that high of position as the backup running back, and this is, remember, we're not in the days of Emmitt Smith, of Adrian Peterson, where those guys were the absolute 3-down back bell cows.
30 carries.
30 carries, 40 carries, and played all those days are done. So we're not living in that time. We're living in that time where you have backs alternating in and out, and those carries get divvied up, right? And so when you talk about, giving someone a roster spot in a game day jersey for that person needs to be able to do a multitude of things for you in that conversation. And because they're RB2, they're limp. What are you smirking about? What are you smirking at? You have this cheeky smirk on your face. Like, what are you smirking about?
I'm just listening, and I agree with you 100%, but you're like completely discounting this guy, and you're saying he's not capable of doing that. I guess what my question is what would it take from him to prove to you that would he have to do it in a game?
Yes.
And then he would have to work his way into that in a real, like he can't prove that in preseason is what you're saying.
Yeah, no,
he can't do enough work.
What I'm saying is he has to do enough work in practice where even the coaches see enough of him to go, no, he's getting more reps than Malik Davis. He's getting more reps than Rico Dowdle. Like, that has to be a thing. Like, that has to be a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it could happen.
Yeah, he ran quite a bit with the first teamers yesterday, I think.
And that's great. And that's my whole thing was, I'll start believing when they start believing.
Yeah. No, and I don't disagree with you. I think everything you're saying is spot on, just in case you wanted my reassurance.
No, I'm just because you had this.
I hate when people do that. Like, when they say, you know what, you're spot on, you're like, well, thank you for telling me that my opinion matters and you're validating me.
But the whole time you're over there like,
no, I was smirking because I'm just thinking to where I'm just hoping that he, on day one, that depth chart, he's number 2. That way we can pull that soundbite back up. And Jesse says, no, there's no way he can be number 2.
What do you feel in this?
I guess I still have a difficult time. He doesn't seem to be the total. When it comes to running back 2, you still hear it's mainly Dowdle, Davis. It's that battle. Yes, Deuce is kind of getting his name in there, but yeah, he looked great the other night, but he was facing guys that
3rd and 4th string guys.
aren't going to make the roster, and so he definitely still has to prove himself, and he has to prove he can do more than just run the ball. Can he catch it out of the backfield, which he did in college? Can he block guys when they're
chip?
All that kind of stuff. There's a lot more to the position, and he just he's got to prove he can do it.
Do you think he can work himself into the RB2 position?
Well, I would like to think so. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got those moves that he's got the burst, he's got the energy when he gets the ball in his hands. So I don't think you can rule him out.
Yeah.
Based on
Jesse's ruling him out.
Well, not ruling him out.
That's what you said. You said no.
Yeah.
You said there's no way he could work himself.
Well,
No.
At the start of all this, I thought this, 5'5", 5'4", I thought there's no way.
Right.
But he's at least getting on the radar.
Yeah, and I don't want, because we do this as a whole, as a fan base, as media members.
Oh yeah,
we do this.
You want to root for the underdog.
You want to root for a guy, right?
Like you when you were on the.
They didn't root for me.
Bull. That's bull.
I saw some things. I saw some things that guys like Clarence Hill and Calvin Watkins and John Jock Taylor.
Not the media. I'm talking about the fans. Watching the show. The fans wanted you to be on the team. They want.
That was a good.
They want a good story. They want the guy that everybody says he can't. He's too small.
You know, it feels good. It feels good, and it makes those who. If Deuce Vaughn comes in and has this, I'm not taking a shot at you.
Are.
I'm not taking a shot
I'm used to it. Go ahead.
But you feel good. You go, you know what? One for the small guys.
Little Kings unite. Let's go.
Kings, what's up?
Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But for the people, it makes them feel like he's one of us.
Right.
Right? It's not like he's 6'5" or 6'1" and he's built like Adrian Peterson and guys go, I could never be that. Yeah. I could never be.
It's like looking at Tony Romo. Like he's just a normal dude,
pudgy looking guy.
Yeah, but good God, he can play. He made it.
Yeah, and so it feels good for the fan base. But when we get down to like the true evaluation, when you have to truly evaluate guys and your job's on the line. Right? For every decision that Will McClay makes, every decision that Chris Jones makes, every decision that that Mike McCarthy makes or Dan Quinn makes or who Broughton Sham, every decision that is made in evaluation is either a check mark in a positive towards your job or a check mark in the negative towards your job. So you're always playing the odds of the situation because if you make him RB2 and it doesn't work out, not only is it a check mark against your job, but it almost kind of is a double check mark because you go, well, what the hell were you thinking? He's 5'5", 155 pounds. Why the hell do you think he can be the number 2 guy anyway? You see what I'm saying? So it's in these evaluation type scenarios, all that plays into effect. The story is phenomenal, right? A 6th-round draft pick. His father is a part of the organization. The draft day story will be one that you'll probably write a deep blue on and win another damn Emmy for it. I'm not bitter about no, I'm playing. But win another Emmy. The story will be phenomenal. But when we get down to the real part of...
He's 180 pounds.
Excuse me, I apologize. Yeah. Sorry.
He's a little thicker.
A little thicker than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got a little caboose.
You know, we have to take into the totality of what that looks like in an evaluation part.
Do you keep him on as a third running back if he's not doing much on special teams?
It makes it hard, Kurt. Like, you're talking about active guys, and that's why I said that, will he make the team? Yes. Will he probably see a lot of DNPs? It's because of that piece. Yeah. And that's another thing that I look for in the games. I'm saying, all right, where is he at on special teams? Because even if you're RB whatever and your second half reps, are you first half special teams guy? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be the 4th, 5th guy on special running back or 4, 5, 6 wide receiver. But if you're in the first half of special teams, personal protector, gunner, jammer, kickoff, return, whatever it is, if you're in the first half of that too, now that's different because they're saying, all right, he may not be in a place right now where he's going to get significant reps at his position, but he's going to be a core special team player. And that's how guys last in this league. Yeah. Whether you're 5'5" or 5'10" or 6'10", if you're not a starter, you make your way by being able to say, I am reputable and I'm good enough for this team because I hold a valuable piece. I am a core special team. And for guys that don't know what core means, that means you play kickoff return, punt, and punt return. And I didn't see him in the first half of those games starting any of those.
So keep an eye out on this game. If he does, is that significant?
It is. Yeah. It
first
is.
Half, if he's the core guy, then it's like, hey, we're trying to find a way.
Because other teams are evaluating their first team guys on special teams in those first and second quarters. Yeah. So I think he might have did kickoff return.
He did have one return.
Yeah, one or two returns. But again, that's not enough for you. It's not enough for me to give you a day jersey when all you did was return. You got to do more than that.
Well, and Fossil just said a little while ago out at camp, he said, I believe Turpin will be even more special this season than last year. And Turpin, as long as expected, will enter 2023 as the ace returner per Fossil. This is a Patrick Walker tweet. And Deuce Vaughn he's on standby. So if he's not returning,
man, this is interesting.
He's not returning.
There's your storyline for the next 2 preseason games. I don't want you to be right.
But I want to be right. I don't want to be right.
But I want to be right. What's our schedule next week? I haven't even looked.
Jazz?
I think we're back. I think we're
in the studio? Are we daily or are we?
No, I think it's Tuesday, Thursday again.
What? Why are we getting the short end of the stick? We're the people show. They're trying to suppress us.
Well,
Derek's trying to hold us down. Everybody gets 2 days a week?
Yeah, they're not doing Friday shows.
They're not doing.
So.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not as mad as I was. All right, Derek, we're still good. We're still good. Before
that is Shannon Groves.
That's
Derek.
me. I'll take it.
I've already had my principal visit this month.
Yeah,
Mother Nature, Derek. Anybody else you want to piss off?
No. You know what? I want to.
LBGT. No, let me stop.
You know how I want to end the show? The People Show. By the way,
the Buffers are going to sue you.
Don't bring that up. That might could happen. That might could happen. That was a one-time thing. That was just for this show. I'm not stealing anything of it.
That cease and desist.
I borrowed that. I would like to end the show. If you're out there listening to the show, pick your phone up right now and text somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Just pick the phone up and just be like, you know what, I hadn't talked, and just say, hey, just checking in on you, see how you're doing, because there's a lot of people out there going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And when you hear from somebody that you hadn't heard from in a while, and you're going through some stuff, it means a lot.
It does.
You know, you may not think it means a lot, and it takes you 2 seconds. You know, hell, send 3 or 4 texts. Just be like, hey, hadn't heard from you in a while, just checking on you, see what's going on.
Send a voice note. You can send a voice note.
Yeah, let them hear your voice.
Hear your voice.
Like little things like that really, really, if somebody's down, and you never know when people are down, you know, they're not going to tell you. So just hit somebody up with a random act of kindness today. I challenge you guys to do that when we get off the show too. And you too, Jazz. You too. All right. Kurt, great show, man. This was good. Jesse, good conversation, good opinions. The voice of reason. The hater is back. Jazz, thanks for sprinting. He doesn't want to get sued. Jazz, thanks for sprinting through the studio to keep this thing working and on the air.
With our fancy shoes on today.
You can watch? You're not a UFC guy. You're more of a boxing guy, right?
You talking about the Sean O'Malley?
Yeah, Sean O'Malley. Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah,
be a good fight.
I'm betting on the black guy.
I think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I like Sugar.
I want to do the same. I'm betting on the white guys. Then we can have a competition.
We'll talk off air. All right. Come back and see us next Tuesday.
NAACP. That's shit.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, just check. Here we go. All right, watch the game. We didn't even talk.
We didn't talk about the game
at all.
Jesus Christ! What a horrible.
All right, before we get off, who are you gonna watch?
Oh shoot. God.
Your homework.
My homework. Offensive line. Why not?
Who are you gonna watch?
Give me Sticks. What's his name? Sticks? The tight end, 49. What's his name?
Stevens.
They call him Sticks. Stretch. They call him Stretch.
You know who I'm watching?
Who?
Deuce.
My short king. My short king, Deuce. I got him. All right, let's get out of here. Have a good weekend. The People Show. We out. See you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!